C'est blessé, m'blessé, moi pas ouais sans moi.
Moi blessé, et aïe, moi blessé. C'est blessé, blessé, moi pas ouais sans moi.
Oh gouo, moi blessé. Oh gouo, ferraille ça, moi blessé. C'est blessé, m'blessé, moi pas ouais sans moi. Gardez blessé, blessé, moi blessé, blessé, m'pas qu'à ouais sans moi adjé.
Moi blessé, moi blessé, c'est blessé, blessé, moi pas ouais sans moi.
Oh Haïti blessé, li blessé, li blessé. Blessé, les organes blessés, blessé, blessé, moi pas ouais sans moi entendez non.
Moi blessé, moi blessé, c'est blessé, blessé, moi pas ouais sans moi.
C'est blessé, blessé,
moi pas ouais sans moi.
Gardez blessé, blessé,
moi pas ouais sans moi.
Oh, c'est blessé, nous blessé,
moi pas ouais sans moi.
Tant de blessés, blessés.
moi pas ouais sans moi.
Good evening and welcome back to another stream as part of our historical order run. And yeah, tonight we're gonna go back to AC Freedom Cry and gonna try to finish the rest of the game here. At this point we have 3 main story missions left and a bit of side activities, you know, with some of them, like the current one, unlocking the next main story mission.
Safe? Merci, mon Dieu.
Ne bouge plus! Reviens ici, fils de chien! Tu n'as pas compris? Reviens ici!
God, protect this man. My savior. We are glad to call you friend. Thank you. You know there is still much work to be done.
You've endured enough.
My thanks, brave hero.
You deserve to have a choice. Arrête. Je veux... Plus un geste. Arrête-toi.
Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper. Hello, Dr. Darling. Welcome in. I mean, it's pretty much a 4 a.m. stream, isn't it? According to you. Which is why I was saying it's like so late already, you know. But yeah, that's the true 4 a.m. stream right here. At like 9 p.m. Hello there, Zomb. Welcome in. What's that behind you? Definitely not a three-headed monkey. That's for sure. Hello there, Dex. Welcome in as well. Good day here. Hope you guys are doing well today. And yeah, thank you for joining. We're gonna try to finish the Freedom Cry DLC tonight. Got about 3 main story missions left now. Oh yeah, Afro. Yeah, those eels are really annoying. I hate them the most, honestly, for the underwater passages. Sometimes you think you're safe, but then they still end up attacking you. Thought at least had 7 heads. Almost. They grow a head for every year.
No good shot!
And yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking, Zomb. Pretty busy day over here, so I'm glad it's kind of like over and I can just chill a bit. Definitely looking forward to continue with this project and get finished with Freedom Cry tonight. Maybe even start Rogue, depending how we're going. But yeah, I reckon tonight is gonna be primarily this game war. Nice von Adewale.
Yeah, let me so.
How's that sexy beast Adewale doing? For now he's doing quite well, but the closer we're getting to Rogue, the worse he's gonna get, that's for sure. Unfortunately. But yeah, for now he's vibing.
Halt!
Oh yeah, Dr. Darling. Can't wait to play Rogue again. I mean, there's definitely fun to be had with Rogue, but yeah, there's also some not so fun parts, I guess.
Citizen!
Citizen? We're talking with Rod about have Ubisoft made the conflict between Assassins and Templars too black and white to a point where they can't make a compelling story in order to make you consider supporting the Templars? I guess it depends. You know, like some games have definitely been more leaning towards painting the Templars in a worse light than others. I mean, you know, AC1 for instance had, you know, pretty grey area I would say with the Templars and Assassins. Having traitors on either side. And people with their own, you know, maybe noble intentions depending how you look at it. And then with AC2, you know, it definitely got the Templars in a much more like overall negative direction, I guess. But I mean, ultimately, that also depends, you know, in the end, kind of like how you kind of like look at it and from which perspective. Some people might actually sympathize with the Templar cause, you know, and the desire for control. But I feel like at this point, you know, I wouldn't really say that Ubisoft has done too much to the Assassins and Templar conflict because we just didn't really have much of a Templar-Assassin conflict in the last couple of games. The Order of the Ancients is like an entirely different organization. So is the Cult of Cosmos. And yeah, we got like a glimpse of it, I guess, in Valhalla, you know, with kind of like Alfred's intentions. But we haven't really had, you know, too much of a Templar story in recent games. Hello Vaora, welcome in. Yeah, bit of a sneaky stream. Wasn't really planned, but yeah, kind of wanted to maybe try to finish this game tonight. Hope you're doing well. Oh hell yeah, Zom, that's great to hear. Yeah, that's the thing with Clarobscur, you know, it's a game that kind of like keeps on giving. There's just more and more content every time, it kind of like looking for more. But it's been a while now for me since I last actually logged onto the game. I feel like I've had my fun with it. But yeah, I got nowhere close to actually finishing all the content in the game though. Exactly, the planned, unplanned stream. The best kind.
Avoir été clair, il n'y a rien à voir.
Hé, là-bas, halte!
God sent you. Never doubt my faith again.
No one deserves this.
No one deserves this, but they sure deserve to be shot in the boards with the shotgun. That's what they deserve. Okay, we can actually get a better machete here. the steel-forged machete. It's not just for cutting sugarcane, that's for sure. Ada really said, no you. He definitely did.
Traitor.
I'm a traitor. You're a traitor. And you know what, Seraph? What else you are?
Your attacks are pathetic. Where did you learn to fight? The brothel?
Yeah, where did you learn to fight, huh? You fight like a cow. Ah yeah, Zomb. Yeah, I've actually seen a bit of that on the Clear Obscure subreddit. Sandfor's kind of like been posting shots out of the studio with, you know, the voice actors for Eskir and the other guys. So it was kind of like cool, you know, getting a bit of a behind the scenes look and seeing how they work on new content. But yeah, it seems like once they're done with Expedition, they're not gonna do like another game that's quite like it. They seem to kind of like wanna go new directions, which I don't blame them for. It's probably good not to like franchise stuff at this point and just kind of like focus on what new ideas they might be having. Yeah, 100% Afro. You know, that's the issue with Rogue's story for sure is, like you say, you know, the Templars are not really exactly behaving like the Templars, and the Assassins are very questionable in how they behave either, which doesn't really 100% align, but they're also very ignorant of what's happening, I guess, at the same time. To kind of like serve a plot and what has to happen. Whereas we have already seen in AC3, you know, how they can write a good Templar origin story. So maybe it would have actually been better to focus on Haven as a character than, you know, a totally new character instead. But yeah, the Templars all of a sudden, you know, are kind of like fighting for the, you know, citizens and kind of like for free trade and whatnot. I think you can definitely make an argument for Shay, or at least the memories being kind of like shifted by Shay's perspective. That's like an established, I guess, kind of like theory, I guess, about the game. That the memories are kind of like based on his perception, and he's actually getting manipulated the whole time by the Templars, which I would say is fairly evident by what's happening and how the Templars are interacting with him. It's just the game never puts this into the open or even talks about that being like problematic or whatsoever. Given that it's the studio behind Liberation, I at some point anticipated that it's actually a manipulation, you know, because in Liberation they work a lot with that. Kind of like memories being shifted towards something that didn't actually happen. And ultimately, you know, in modern day, it's Otzoberg's plan to kind of like send over recordings to the Assassins, so it's kind of like designed to be a propaganda piece in a way against the Assassins. Like in the modern day storyline. But yeah, the game never really like fully confirms that or kind of like talks about it more. And yeah, the way it's presented is definitely not really paying justice to how the Templars and Assassin conflict has worked before. So yeah. Yes, but on the point, I mean, it's where they store the cows. Sometimes, it depends. In wintertime. That's where they store the cows in wintertime. I mean, that's fair, Afro. I feel like I definitely enjoyed AC3's Templar story a lot more. But I understand what you mean, like, it's definitely written in a way where you're made to believe that you're fighting with the assassins until the reveal. To kinda like stun you a bit. Which definitely worked for me, like, you know, given that Haven was a new character in a new setting, wielding a hidden blade, doing parkour, and, you know, assassinating people that aren't very sympathetic. It definitely doesn't, you know, come to mind that you're not playing an assassin, even though observing your companions, you might get an idea. But Haven is definitely a bit, a very untypical type of Templar, I guess, as well. But yeah, they also have the, yeah, I was about to say, like, they also have the assassin kind of like symbol. Like also as part of a hut, like the allies have like an assassin symbol. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, you know, like, Haven has definitely an assassin background, I guess. And he got kind of like taught the basics, I guess, by his father. Even though he was never really introduced to the assassins formally. SS in 8? Exactly. It's definitely gonna be interesting to see Zomb. I'm looking forward either way to see, you know, what we're gonna go for in the future.
I have a few new things today.
I don't care too much if it's like not Clair Obscur related or something new. But I also wouldn't be unhappy if they decide to make like more Clair Obscur content.
New findings are available to you, Captain, should you be interested.
Do I think there are any merits to the Templar way? I mean, like, benefits, I guess? I mean, yeah, technically. If you just look from like, you know, people that actively don't want to make decisions themselves and want to live in peace and controlled, then the ideal world of a Templars would be kind of like a way to go, I guess. And to be honest, I think there's many people who don't mind being like sheep, I guess. And, you know, being told what to do, etc. But, yeah, for me that doesn't really apply too much. I mean, in terms of like, I don't want to be told what to do. Nor would I want to like live in like a, you know, kind of like a prison that's kind of like safe, I guess. But, you know, doesn't afford any liberties. But, I mean, yeah, for those, you know, who might look forward to that kind of like scenario, there might be benefits to it.
Excellent. Good day.
Ça veut dire qu'il doit encore...
Oh, never mind. Kind of thought it was my ship there.
Ça veut dire qu'il doit encore...
Okay, so I either way have to travel here. I just hope my ship isn't like that far away. Okay. Well, that's fair enough, because this is technically still part of this location. I could get to the Maroon hideout. I mean, it must be through the South Plantation here, I reckon. But I'm not sure if you can even go there from here now, because it gets triggered through a cutscene. And there's like no way to tell on the map here. There's like an actual way there. But yeah, I did allow myself to kind of like use the simple boat to return to my ship. So I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I agree, Zomb. I think there's definitely a lot of potential with, you know, even the same universe and, you know, within the painting. But even beyond that, you know, the possibilities are almost endless. There's so many kind of like stories and, you know, painters potentially who can do this. Or like, you know, other paintings that the same family has done that one could jump into. Okay, we're looking for the Wellington plantation here. Montes. Down here.
Every last scrap of duck on the wind!
Yeah, I guess that really depends on the definition of order, you know, Afro. Because I guess for the Templars, you know, the kind of like ends justify the means. The end is order. But if it means you have to be very authoritative and, you know, even brutal to enforce that order and to secure the order, which means peace for others, then that's warranted, I guess.
Fire! Fire! Ah! Awaiting orders! Mortars incoming! Fire! Fire! Stand on fire! Fire! We got back on those fire! Fire! Reef in all tops! Set that right, Daddy. Fire! 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 Douse the gallants and royals! Ready? All sails, she'll take it!
The short range. can I think of any demerits to the Assassins. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good thing with the Assassins, is that I don't really think they're like, you know, necessarily the heroes in like every story. At least from a, you know, moral standpoint, it's wrong to kill. I think, you know, people can probably agree on that. But, yeah, I guess they're coming from a very utilistic, you know, kind of like standpoint. If it means that, you know, a tyrant, for instance, gets killed, and in turn, you know, prevents, you know, the death of others, then you can make, you know, an argument for, well, one life doesn't outlive the lives of 10 or, you know, potentially more. But I guess another shortcoming of the assassin point of view is it's very unforeseeable what might happen next, and whether, you know, is the puppeteer, you know, might install another, the puppet master installs another puppeteer. So, I guess the definitely agents of chaos in a way that they destabilize existing power structures. Some of them might be bad, but you know, others might also cause bad consequences as well. Even if a person that died maybe in some eyes, you know, would have deserved it. But that's a price that the assassins are willing to pay. That house doing nothing, Adevale. Yeah, that went down pretty fast. The hull is only decorative, but it is beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, in the eyes of the games, you know, the assassins are still very much the heroes of the story, I guess, you know. Like, generally speaking, they're definitely meant to root with the assassins, but I guess you can still make an argument about what they're doing, you know, isn't right, for whatever reasons. And, I mean, there's at least been plenty of, you know, kind of like lore pieces. For example, the Codex, you know, of Altair, it very openly talks about the struggles, the hypocrisies of the assassins. It's good that there's kind of like some self-reflection with some of the assassins. Even Ezio, you know, in his late life, have kind of like pondered upon. I mean, Ezio really grew disillusioned with the Creed, you know, after some of the things he's done in Revelations. Like the whole Cappadocia story. That was nice timing there. With the jumping into the haystack. Hidden blade.
Understood.
Hello, I'm in the best suit. Welcome in.
Il est là! Allez-y!
Oh shit. Damn, these guys really cause a lot of ruckus here. They track like everyone. What the fuck? Was that? Was some Odyssey physics there. Because there's supposed to be a guy here on that spot, but there's nobody. Okay, at least the slave is not targeting any of the actual slaves here. Only my maroon kind of companions. That's good at least.
Tu as accompli de grands.
I like how I want to ring the alarm bell, but they can't reach it from here. So we're just getting stuck on the fence. Ow. Yeah, that's the other thing as well, you know, like sometimes what happens historically doesn't align with maybe what they want to do in the game story either. Like Rodrigo couldn't die until a certain point. Unless I want to, you know, contradict history. Which they've done before, you know, plenty of times, of course. I don't always 100% align who has died when. Even in AC1, a lot of the dates or years don't really match. I like the reason for why Ezio spared him. And I feel like in Brotherhood it's evident that a lot of the power that he has held, he still has, of course, being a pope in a way, but a lot of the things that happen are more in the responsibility of his son, Cesare. Indeed, yeah, Adivale has a really brutal set. The machete. And this one is like the clean one. Should have seen the first one we had was like really rusty and like rough. That would have caused some bad infections being hurt by that. Not just made for sugar canes. And then we also have the precursor to a shotgun. The blunderbuss. Which has a pretty good spread. You can pretty much hit like 5 to 10 guys at the same time if I like standing at the right position. In fact, I think that's the final story, like mission of this game. We have to kill like quite a few people at the same time with blunderbuss. At least for the optional objective. Perfect pathing. Yeah. Gone through playtesting and all that.
Give me some speed. Proud on every inch of sail. Douse all but men's.
Tetanus. Do you have it right now, Aura? That would really suck. Ah, right, sorry. Actually, I had to Google that because I was like, I thought you were talking about tinnitus. You know, the kind of like, you know, getting like a bit deaf on your ear and hearing like a high tone. So I kind of like mixed that up with tetanus. And I Googled tetanus. I was like, okay, never mind. I don't think you have that one. But yeah, no, that getting hurt by that machete would definitely give you that. That's the plan, Afro in Rogue. Gonna destroy everything. But yeah, Adevale's ship really didn't stand too much of a chance there. Like once get some proper upgrades.
Some fresh meat here.
Imagine it was like more like a legendary ship battle, like in Black Flag. I mean, for the casual player, maybe that's, you know, too big of a ask. But it would make the fight a lot more memorable and epic. Sounds good, Dr. Darling. Definitely hope you have a good rest, dude. And yeah, that you also have a nice sleep too. Gotta stay motionless. Not move a muscle. Like Osiris.
Nothing booty there for the taking.
Oh yeah, do I Afro? I never actually looked up my stats for Rogue, but that's kind of funny that they have that tracked. But yeah, I mean, I've done like at least once a year playthrough from like 2017 to like 2023. And I've done like extra playthroughs on top, at least in the early years. So definitely made a lot of luck there with Rogue. So the next story mission actually takes place on Halloween, the 31st of October, 1735. Not like we're celebrating Halloween here at this point, but it's the date though. Yeah, having like a frigate would be quite nice actually. I don't think I would actually want to have a man of war because it would feel too clunky for me and I like the mobility of a brick. But yeah, a frigate would be nice, kind of like middle ground there. Have a lot more firepower without sacrificing too much mobility.
Oh, gou, oh, mwen blese. Ferraille, oh, mwen blese. Se blese, m'blese, mwen pa wè san mwen.
Adewale, your ambition still gives me pause. But I promised Auguste my help.
What's this?
The forged manifest. Or so I am told. One of your famous recruits wrote it.
Joachim Francois, Henry Marchand, Fortuné Jean. Good. I'm sure you will serve the expedition well.
Louis Gaudin will meet with the harbor master to arrange the remaining affairs of your expeditionary voyage. You may take the opportunity to switch the manifest.
At your signal, we will be ready to board.
Thank you. And thank you, Bastien.
Anything for the Maroons of Saint-Domingue.
Please help! You can't run, follow! No!
Thank you. God watches over you.
Back on the man! Tu ne connaîtras jamais ta liberté!
Thank you so much for sharing your fascinating research.
The thanks is all mine. Now I must away for a meeting with the harbor master. All in the name of science, of course.
Of course.
Il faut pas le faire!
Toi, j'ai une question à te poser.
Deux à chaque tonne, ça fait un 4 pour les centièmes.
Good day, monsieur.
And to you as well.
I trust the preparations are coming along well. Things certainly do seem to be busy.
Indeed, sir. As you can see, my men are working around the clock to prepare everything. You may expect a fine vessel fitted to precisely the demands of science. Other activities.
What other activities?
Do not worry about the thing. There is only the outstanding matter of your skill. Do you have the name of the manifest?
Yes.
Right here. Come then. You must be itching to inspect evidence. Indeed, I am.
Price increase over the past few weeks.
T'as déjà un pied dans la tombe.
Okay, that was a bit annoying. I want to kill him there stealthily, but now I have no idea if there was a objective when the next checkpoint happened. I'm just gonna reload last checkpoint to see if there was an objective or not. Okay, still there isn't. Okay, they saw that.
This is, will not be interested. Same things. It does not sell.
But won't it anyway be used for more equipment?
No, nothing like that. Please, Monsieur Gaudin. Oh, thank you.
The Black Flag. They'll be picked to the bone.
Storm's out! Let's get moving!
We must defend that ship. French or not, these scientists must reach their destination. Our people must capture their secrets. The knowledge is more important than any cargo.
Aye, Captain. He's working right.
A little skill in the right way won't last long.
Fire!
Looks bad!
Fire! Fire! Looks like her. Fire! That's the take the shot! Fire!
Use this rotten weather there!
Await orders! Fire! Captain, a red not there!
Take the shot!
You heard the captain!
Fire! Fire!
Ready! Ready!
Fire!
Reef the topsails and gallants!
Plant the seeds. Right, that's all of the objectives completed. And that means the next mission actually jumps forward 2 years to 1737. So I'm gonna change the title accordingly. It's definitely interesting because the next mission doesn't even have like a specific date or something, only the year 37. But the final mission does have a very specific date, down to the day, and that's due to the, I think, death date of the Fayet, who was an actual historical character.
The fresh meat here!
Fire! Can you picture it, Augustine? Once you are trained and our recruits return with these navigational secrets, you will be able to go explore and recruit from any land.
It will be a great temptation. My fight is in Port-au-Prince, Adiwali. I must stay focused.
Build a Maroon Navy then.
Do not mistake my gratitude, Adiwali. This ship is a grand blessing. An advanced knowledge of the seas, a boon to our cause. The Maroons do not crave an empire, only independence over our own territory.
Very well, Augustine. But mark my words, you will be fit to command a navy, of one ship or many, when our work here is done.
Yeah, heavy shots can be quite OP. You definitely have to get in a good position, but yeah, the damage is insane. If timed correctly. Hello there, Wicked. Welcome in. Game time goes for 2 years, Gibbs, so see you in 2 years. Now that's gonna be a long historical project right there. Even if I would have to wait like 2 days. Or like, 1 day per year.
Looks like loot.
Imagine like with the first game I've played in my historic order run, which was Ancestors, where we passed for like 8 million years. Not yet, Afro. I'm still missing a few upgrades, I think. Probably like, I mean, I can check in the main menu here. Yeah, 75% of weapons and armor upgrades we've gotten. I can upgrade the mortar and the final hull armor as well. Yeah, you know what? Let's actually get the final hull upgrade once I can.
Captain,
Get the mainsails into the wind!
Pirates have been spotted close to the borders of Saint-Domingue.
Because you tried to do the Storyteller trophy for Arkham City legit way. Reached 10 out of 12 months missed. September, since in real life stuff, and said, fuck that, not gonna wait another year. So for the Storyteller trophy you have to like log onto the game like for 4 years? Once a month? I never heard about that one. But yeah, that sounds like a huge commitment. Like remembering and, you know, also having the time. Like as I say, you know, sometimes there might be circumstances where I can't really, you know, even think of like logging onto a game or something. But yeah, that sounds insane. Or jailers are looking for runaway slaves, and this is why we have police officers now. Yikes. Let me actually check if there's anything new in the database here. Okay, there isn't. These games could have used a bit more color on the ship. You'd have Morrigan's red and black hull when fully upgraded. Jackdaw, on the other hand, wood, but golden plated. That's fair. I guess different strokes, different tastes. Kind of think, from memory, I liked the upgrade with a black and red of a Morrigan. But I think from memory it still retains some of the orange hue, or like some orange elements or something on the ship. And that kind of like clash on me in memory. But yeah, I mean the Jackdaw is definitely, you know, definitely more basic on the colors, but I kind of like that in a way. But it's not like super flashy. But I kind of like the gold finishes on, you know, the cannons and mortar, and you can of course also do quite a bit with, you know, the sails and the ship wheel and stuff. 12 celebration dates 12 months. Need to visit NPC and listen. Jesus. I never heard about that one. But yeah, I don't blame you for not wanting to, like, you know, wait another year to get that one. Sometimes, you know, probably best to just move on to something different. But I know what you mean, War Afro. Would have been nice to maybe have some extra customization elements about, you know, the colorization of a ship. Maybe that's what the remake is gonna do. more microtransaction customizations for the ships. We're gonna take all the kind of like designs from Skull and Bones, put it into the microtransaction store for Black Flag Remake.
Ade, Augustin has learned of another slave ship to intercept. I beg you to reconsider.
Special orders from your sometimes confidant, the governor.
No, it is as I feared. With all the slaves you have freed, the French are in panic.
Let the French live in the fear they earned.
It is not so simple. Curfews are strict. Punishments are harsher and more frequent. You help the ones you freed, but at what cost to the ones you can't?
A small price for independence. The sooner Augustine's revolution comes, the sooner all slaves will live in peace as free people.
Gouverneur de Fayette threatens retaliation.
And he is behind this.
No, Adwale.
Not another word. I don't want to hear it.
In your pirate days, did you cross many slave ships?
More than a few. But when I sailed with Kenway, plunder was the only prize. Plunder or information leading to more plunder.
Did you never wish to intervene?
It is wise for a quartermaster to keep his wishes to himself, if he also wishes to remain as quartermaster. But yes, the thought did cross my mind. When the assassins offered me the opportunity to pursue more serious aims, I left the plundering behind.
But the slave ships also?
No, for I am still an assassin, and I have found them again. I would not trade my years as a pirate for anything.
You enjoyed your freedom.
They hardened me for the work we do today. And when I am done, you will also have pirates to thank for your training.
Yes, Captain.
That's a question, Afro. Yeah, what engine we're gonna choose? Some people suspect they might go with Skull and Bones engine simply due to the fact that they already have an established naval system there and then build on top of it. But yeah, I guess that would have to mean they have to rework the movement system for that engine. But who knows? At this point there's like very little we even know about the remake. Most of it is really just speculation. Yeah, or there's definitely quite a few moments where it clashes between Bastien and Adewale in this game.
Crowd it all on!
A good thing I got the hull upgrade here, because I can't take more than 50% damage in this fight.
We are ready! Fire! Break up! Fire! Steer away! Press! Fire! 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 Keep out the battle!
No! They'll sink the ship!
I think we must act fast.
Fire!
Bastards.
Loaded! Fire!
respond fast, it will be too late. Take them all in.
Picking up! Loose mainsails! Floats out! Let's get moving!
All sails loose. Stay tight. Captain Ade, I think we must act fast.
I'll go below. Control these fires, then prepare the Experto Crede to receive survivors.
Gouverneur de Fayette. I thought I understood his indifference. I did not anticipate the extent of his heartlessness.
You tried to warn me. We are all guilty. A governor will pay with his own life. My creed demands that I see to it.
C'est lave-main. C'est raté. Revenge is cold comfort. Once the fire is gone, another tyrant will take his place.
His death must give this generation of warriors hope. They must not abandon the goal of independence.
And the death of these souls? Some barely knew life.
We will always mourn them.
And this mission just really punches him in the gut. But yeah, it's very good that they, actually show this, as much as it hurts to kind of like witness and, to kind of like be part of a situation and, to see all the death for people that, never deserved any of this. It's definitely quite heartbreaking. But yeah, it's definitely good they didn't shy away from, showing stuff like this. If we saw on Twitter people making a hoopla about them removing the modern day element, we actually welcome it, to be honest, because post AC3 modern day was never good anyway. Yeah, I mean, I can understand it that they wouldn't want to include it in a remake, considering they might also have to completely rework all the modern day assets, and that's of course taking a substantial amount of time. And that they would rather, concentrate on the historical element. With other AC games, for example, in Unity, I wouldn't mind too much. I'm not having the, modern day part as much as in Black Flag. Because Black Flag actually had some, meaningful stuff there, even for the historical timeline, with the Sage storyline for one. If that wasn't the case, then I maybe wouldn't feel like, the game's being robbed by something too much, but I feel like it definitely adds another layer to the historical timeline, having the Sage in the present, But generally speaking, the modern day has been, not nearly as good as it was in the Desmond Saga for me as well. I mean, that was definitely the peak modern day for me. But I still think, modern day is, in theory, a very important part of Assassin's Creed. Which is a bit of a shame that they can't really seem to make it, too interesting anymore at this point. Or at least make it so that, one game continues where the other has left off. But, yeah, that's not really happening anymore. Interning as the world's worst IT tech. Yeah, absolutely, Aura. Having that him in the background, and also when Adevade is underwater and it's like very faint in the background. Also, hey there, Gislek, welcome in, dude. In the remake, the Jackdaw can fly, and Mary Reed randomly goes for a swim in the ocean mid-dialogue. I mean, that sounds about right. Would definitely make for some nice, funny moments to record, that's for sure. But, yeah, I'm holding my breath in case I have to go for a swim. Whoever made this DLC really gave a shit, and it shows. Yeah, and not sure if you knew, I guess not, but it was actually Ubisoft Quebec that worked on this. The first project was the Tourney of King Washington DLC for AC3, and then they continued working on the next DLC for Black Flag. And yeah, they actually made this DLC before eventually getting their own game with Syndicate. But yeah, this is actually one of the best Quebec stories that I would say I've played yet. How was Shadows modern day? Yeah, pretty forgettable. Honestly.
Loose and trim too!
I mean, it's like super in the background, right? Like none of it really matters too much.
All sails, she'll take it!
Or you have to like actively grind some kind of like side missions to kind of like get modern day information or something. So yeah, they really push it to the side. Alright, so we are now on the final mission for the game. It's time to end the Fayet. That means we're also jumping into July of 1737 for the final mission. 11th of July. And after that, there's gonna be quite a time jump, I think. Yeah, so the next mission after this will be the start of AC Rogue. And that starts in 1752. So we're gonna have like another 15 years. It's actually crazy to think how old Adewale is by the time he dies in Rogue. I mean, he was born when? (1692). Yeah. I think he dies in like 1757 or something. So what, he's like 65 when he dies? Is he like going on his 70s in Rogue? It's kind of funny. But yeah, he definitely, you know, kept in great shape. Also, be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, the Chinese dragon skin for the Jackdaw. Then they require you to go to the main menu to actually see any of it. Yeah. Not even that, you have to leave the game to see the unlocked content, and the Enemies Hub isn't even something I'd call working. It's really sad to see, you know, the state that's in, considering it was kind of like praised as like, you know, Assassin's Creed Infinity and the new platform and all the modern day is gonna be on there and it's gonna be so good. And all the games are united on there. But if you don't even have the same game installed on the same drive, then you can't even launch it from Shadows. And you can't launch the older games either, can you? Only like the most recent ones. So yeah, it's just really, like, it really makes you question like how many resources and time did they put into that just to be like a complete failure. You have a final mortar upgrade. Technically you have to play the prologue of AC3 first and then Rogue. It goes a bit back to back. We're gonna start with Rogue, but then we're only gonna be playing Rogue for Sequence 1. And after Sequence 1 of Rogue, we're gonna be starting with AC3. And then it's kind of like a bit jumping back and forth because they're overlapping with the introduction. And then there's gonna be a bit more AC3 again for like Sequence 2 and a bit of 3. And then we're jumping back to Rogue to kind of like finish it. But yeah, there's gonna be a bit of back and forth jumping with those games. So we're gonna be playing them at the same time. But yeah, the first mission in Rogue takes place in 1752 and the first mission in AC3 takes place in 54. How old was Mario again in Brotherhood? He was pushing 70 as well, you think? I think something like that, yeah. I mean, considering that Ezio is kind of like 40, about 40, like 39 or 40, I think, when Brotherhood is starting. For Mario to be at least 20 years older would make sense. Remember how AC3 gameplay looked much better than the actual release product? Yeah, like a few Ubisoft games, I guess. Watch Dogs being another one. Or remember Unity. AC3 has aged so badly. Yeah, I'm actually gonna be playing the original version when I'm gonna be replaying AC3. I've decided. I wanted to have the OG experience, and while there's definitely some advantages that the remaster version has, I mean some are actually really good from a gameplay perspective. But yeah, for example, the cutscenes and face animations look so much better in the OG version. There's also some pretty annoying bugs with the music in the remaster. And yeah, you know, the OG is still perfectly playable, if you have it, of course. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing the OG AC3. Hello there, Zeus, welcome in. The best AC game. For me personally, my favorite AC game is AC2. But I wouldn't say that it necessarily is the best AC game, you know, from like, I mean, arguably, you know, for example, Brotherhood has like, you know, gameplay advancements that make it factually better from a gameplay perspective. But as a whole product, you know, AC2 is still my favorite, followed by Origins. But yeah, the remaster definitely had some, you know, pretty bad visuals at times. Like some locations and lighting look really good. But yeah, like some of the cutscenes, especially with the close-ups that AC3 has. And I mean, it already looked worse when the remaster launched for AC3. It looked even more plastic then. But yeah, I definitely prefer how it looks in the OG. I definitely had fun with AC Shadows. Yeah, was like, you know, it had some really good additions for the stealth gameplay, actually. Quite enjoyed, you know, that. Being able to go prone and hiding in the shadows and all that. Exactly, Gislek, yeah, that constant viewpoint music everywhere, even in cutscenes, it's just so annoying. And you can fix it, of course, but only by fast traveling. And I don't intend on fast traveling in this, you know, kind of like historical auto run of the Kenway saga. So I'm not gonna do that to myself. I mean, technically I could exit the Animus, then go back in, but it's just too annoying. Yeah, Ezio is, you know, such a great character. Always love getting to replay those games. Unity when it's working, that's a good call too. Because you never know with Unity, you know, on some days it might give you no trouble whatsoever and everything is going smooth. If you, of course, already have gotten around with some of the gimmicks and kind of like, you know, stuff that can be a bit tricky to work with. But sometimes also the game can just throw only shit your way. Especially if you also tend to play online or with others. But it definitely has one of the more inconsistent stealth systems, I would say, Unity. Especially with like snipers and the kind of like field of view and all that. You can't bring yourself to like any entry more than AC1. I don't blame you either. Honestly, AC1 is such a sleeper hit for me. I mean, back in its day was of course, you know, quite hyped, but since then, you know, nowadays people barely talk about AC1. And there was definitely a time where I considered AC2 and AC1 to be my favorites in the series.
Fancy some fresh meat, Captain?
I just love with AC1 how focused it is on the assassin fantasy, you know, and how well worked out the targets and assassinations are. And the writing is still one of the best in the series from a like philosophical standpoint.
Fire!
But yeah, when Origins kind of launched, that really won me over so much. I mean, how can you not love Bike? Am I right?
Cliff dead ahead! Trim the yards off the wind!
Okay, so I can't fast travel into the Maroon hideout, can I?
Hold them in!
Okay.
Get off the wind!
In that case, we're just gonna swim. Get a funny idea for an AC Shadows playthrough. No fast travel, return to the hideout after every single target. Jesus. You're never gonna be finished. If you start now, you might be finished by Christmas. With the first circle, that is. Haha. Just because I like swimming so much. Unity parkour missing in new AC games. Yeah, that's the thing as well, right? Like in early clips for Origins, like when we worked on the, you know, new RPG games, it was still based on Unity. Like they actually had Arno run around the pyramids in like Egypt and stuff, just as like a test run. So there was nothing preventing them necessarily from, you know, having a parkour system similar to Unity. But yeah, they purposefully, you know, kind of like streamline that element and wanted to make it kind of like very accessible and basic. That's, I guess, you know, a negative with how Unity was perceived at launch, I guess, because I guess it kind of like signaled to Ubisoft that going the classic AC route is not going to work. And, you know, having such an intricate parkour system created more issues than maybe it offered possibilities for people. You mean the hideout in Izumi? Yeah, I know. I mean, it would be a nice roleplay thing, you know, but yeah, I would only do it on like the main targets. But I guess for the regional targets, you could go back to like your hideout there, you know, one of the Kitsuragi or however way they're called. I forgot the name for those kind of like smaller hideouts. You don't like Origins, Afro? Blasphemy. I was talking about this year's Christmas, but I mean next year's Christmas also works. You play Syndicate just for World War I? Okay, that's opinion I've never heard before. I mean, I don't mind playing the World War I stuff, but I definitely hugely prefer the Victorian timeline.
My thanks. Return anytime.
I just got hideouts but in Japanese. Fair enough. Then those hideouts, I guess. Okay, so we didn't actually get any updates here for the database. Fair enough. In that case, I guess we can start the final mission. Ban Afro. Yeah, for not liking Origins. At least, you know, getting a timeout there.
I believe it is time. The governor grows complacent, his guards lazy. They have already forgotten the terror they wrought. I will remind them.
Once you have removed the Fayet, you will no longer be safe here.
Nor will the Maroons be if I stay.
It will bring me sadness to see you go.
We will meet again to celebrate Maroon independence.
You know well the grounds of the governor's residence.
Choose your moment. Do not get caught.
Indeed, Aura. Down with that bastard. There's more hideouts all over the AC Shadows map are so empty, it's depressing to look at them. Yeah, they really don't have too much to offer. One thing that kind of bothered me with Shadow's open world, you know, even though it felt kind of like alive with, you know, especially the weather and, you know, some of the population and stuff. I didn't really like how it constantly forced you on like the main roads all the time. Like always, like if you were straying away from the design path, then you were like actively punished for it. It was kind of annoying to deal with.
should they hide the ghost ship?
Brothers, they did not survive the journey.
I will personally find and kill every last one of you until I find my answer. Where is the hideout of the Maroons?
Okay, we have to kill 5 guards with a blunderbuss, and we have to kill the Fayet with his own brand new weapon there. The bastard.
Where is the other leader?
I have no information to give.
The leader! Attack!
Personne ne passe.
On te laissera pas killer! On va l'avoir!
Come on now.
Essayez de lui tirer dessus! Ne le laissez pas respirer! Passez derrière lui!
Oh, fucking hell, I hate when you can't counter, even though I press counter. Can you just attack me now? My target? Thank you. What? Gotta be shitting me, dude. I killed him. I got the objective. Even though, by the way, I killed him with my knees, not with his weapon. And in that moment I die, and I get reset to the very start. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't think I was ever so unlucky with, like, an objective in a mission ever. I was like literally about to finish this mission. I got the objective. In that moment I die. Mid-animation. What the fuck? It's just so annoying when you have to kill someone with his own weapon because you're like constantly bound to like wait for their attack on you. There were like 2 or 3 times where like he was attacking at the same time as another dude. Exactly, because like that's the thing, you know, it's like you can perfectly traverse the hills sometimes, but all the vegetation and bushes and all that makes it like super hard to actually see anything that's going on. They would have at least made it so that they prioritize your own character over background or kind of like, you know, bushes and whatnot. Then that wouldn't be too much of a problem. But I can't even see your own character sometimes.
peu plus d'empire, rends-toi!
Personne ne passe.
Allez! Tu passeras pas par là, attaquez enfoncé, charron qui est là-bas!
He must not leave!
Approchez et achevez-le! Yes. Pas de trou, empêchez-le de bouger!
Help! Who will come to your rescue? Your slaves? The overseers who follow your orders? Pathetic. What kind of man does not fight for himself? Why? I have killed many men on principle, but never have I wanted one to suffer as much as you. To understand what it is to gasp and beg for your life, like the innocents you drowned.
You mean those slaves? That ship? But they're not even human. Without the discipline and guidance of their masters, they turn to rebellion. Murder. Like you.
I only wish that were true.
See you later, sucker. Yeah, that's a very brutal scene there. But they're very powerful when he says, you know, so you know what it is to gasp. And in that moment he's like literally doing it. Maybe he taught him some empathy after all there at the end. Forceful empathy right there. Or maybe they turned to rebellion and murder because you call them animals and treat them as such. Seems weird to start to drag him only to let him go after a second. Yeah, I think he wanted him to kind of like bleed out with his, you know, belly on the ground. Maybe it's more undignified, you know, with his head facing the ground than otherwise. Not sure. But I think it was definitely more about him kind of like flipping him over onto his belly.
It is done. He suffered badly. I made sure of it.
Have you come to say goodbye?
For now. But not without giving you this.
Oh.
After all this time, you lost interest.
You're not worried it will fall into Templar's hands?
I fear worse things now. No Templar plot can equal your wrath.
You tried to make light at a time like this?
Only to lighten my sorrow at leaving.
You will return to your Brotherhood of Assassins, and whatever duty they assign you.
I will return, yes. But I feel a tide changing within me. I'm no longer young. I must devote my energy to those who struggle for freedom. I will use my conviction in my creed to defend them alongside anyone who will help me.
one left to serve this to. I will keep it for memory.
Marcher dans nuit tôt, m'pa gen chance. Marcher à de la sirène, malheur rive moins.
Sad face.
Marcher dans nuit tôt, m'pa gen chance.
It's kind of funny when Adevades says he's not a young man anymore. Because at this point he's like 45 or so. And that's in like the 18th century, you know, which under the circumstances that Edward is living as a man of the sea, which was a pretty rough way to live. He's definitely not a young guy anymore, that's for sure. What's in the box? Tell me what's in the box. Not gonna lie, that's how the fans really are with the precursor boxes. Or at least were. Thank you for the GG's Aura and Zomp. Cheers, guys. I always enjoy replaying this DLC. It's just good to have more Adevades story and to dive in more into his background, but also, into actually playing an assassin, for one, and kind of like diving into the topic of, slavery. It's really good that they focus on it. A Celebration, of course, also gonna touch on it, but it's not quite as focused on the whole topic as, this DLC is. The quality control at Ubisoft Quebec, huh? One of the team is still in check. Now to beat this artificial luck with our homemade luck and rogue. This is all nice, but what's in the box? In the box is the secret to make your own luck.
I make my own luck.
And also every time you open the box, it comes back with an insult.
Hey, you think we should go on pipe up your ass?
You look like a moron.
Why, oh why do you exist?
That's what you hear every time you have to open it. It's like one of those musical boxes.
Fix this damn
You're an
door!
embarrassment to him.
That's right, you also hear Bonnie McGuire.
See you, chump. I need that money.
The box needs that money. Hello there, Mita. Welcome in, dude.
It's a coin, that's all.
I need that money. Just a few coins. Thank you so much, Amita. How's it going, dude? I hope you had a good rest of your stream with Cyberpunk today.
I want to see the Alliance map.
Do I want to see the Alliance map? I'd rather have a look at Kenway's Fleet's map. Meter going well? It went well, but Elizabeth blocked you. Or did she? That's unfortunate. What happened? Also, thank you for the 20 stream streak, Amita. The German version. Translation by Frank Haut. Dreckmann. It literally translates to Dirtman. Kojima NPC. Imagine. Maybe because you told her husband the truth. Later on you got a message from her husband telling you what happened. Then his contact also got blocked. I guess it was the bad guys. Ah, gotcha. I don't remember what choice I actually made in that storyline. I remember really liking the revelations about, you know, everything that was going on in that apartment. Definitely creeped me out a bit though. I think so too, Amita, yeah. Yeah, I don't think this is the end of it either. Yeah, I think at this point they're actually also doing these credits for the main game. Because we just saw some people that definitely weren't involved into the, you know, actual DLC. Oh, nice. There's a new special weapon for getting force synchronization. And we have new database entry for the Marquis de Fayet. So we already read this database entry, but there's some updates here. Yeah, it's pretty much just the last bit here. He was murdered by the assassin Adewale in 1737, following a skirmish with Maroon warriors, who history records his death as natural. I wonder why. But yeah, that's everything in the database as well for this DLC. There was quite a lot in the start of the game, but now at the end there weren't really, you know, too many entries or like historical events to read up on. But yeah, that finishes the Freedom Cry DLC. So which weapon did we get here? A crude iron machete. Oh yeah. I know I don't actually have this. Is it here? I think... Ah, it's this one. Yeah, the Dragoon. A marvel of technology of unknown origin, greatly advanced for its time. Oh. So what, is this like a first civilization / like indigenous kind of like shotgun? Why not? Why not? You were a bit worried because you thought you screwed something up. I had that feeling quite a few times in Cyberpunk. Especially since I never actually looked up, you know, if I, like, done something right or wrong. So I didn't really know for sure until later. No worries of a shout out either, Amita. Naturally. Thank you, Aura. Yeah, it was definitely a good playthrough. Greatly enjoyed this. Yeah, I'm not gonna start Rogue tonight anymore though, because yeah, I don't really have like, you know, so much more time. Since also getting late over here, it's like 10:30. So I think I'd rather, you know, make a proper start on Rogue in the next stream. And yeah, then really have some, you know, proper time to get into it and not just play the first mission or something. But yeah, that was good. Let's go ahead and quit to the main menu. There we go. Another Freedom Cry playthrough completed. Which means that also completes our whole Black Flag playthrough now, of course. And that timeline is like fully finished now. Which is why I also kind of like separated it from Rogue, AC3 and Liberation, because there's not really any overlaps there. But yeah, that will definitely change. I mean, with those games, it's gonna be probably the most overlays ever between any games you're gonna be playing in this, you know, series run. But yeah, no worries of a stream, Aura. Thank you for being here. Ubisoft server POC. AC Initiates. Visit acinitiates.com for more info and content. Yeah, I know, right? 10 years ago, maybe. Not anymore. Sniff. Thank you for the GG's, Eric. Cheers. Not even, or maybe yes. I think it was shut down about 10 years ago or so. But yeah, it was a pretty cool like platform, wasn't it? In its heyday. Content that doesn't exist. Yeah, not anymore. Requiescat in pace.
Requiescat in pace.
It lasted 30 months. I mean, maybe that's why it stopped, you know. It ended on an unlucky number. Alrighty, we're gonna go and raid out to Lucinda, who's playing some Resident Evil 2. She's doing a Claire first scenario playthrough of that game. And I'm gonna be back tomorrow, I think. I should actually have a bit of time in the afternoon to yeah, carry on with Rogue and maybe even AC3. I mean, we're really only playing sequence 1 of Rogue before we jump to AC3, so we're definitely gonna be starting that game too, I think. And yeah, I'm gonna jump back and forth quite a bit there. I actually wonder how many parts I'm gonna have by the end of our AC3 playthrough, considering I'm gonna start a part for every time I'm kinda like jumping to another game. It's like its own part there. At some point I'm gonna have like 15 minutes parts or streams or something. But yeah, if you want to join us with the raid over to Lucinda, feel free to copy and paste these raid emotes here. Now we'll catch you guys again tomorrow for the start of Rogue and AC3. I should include the comics in my historic order run. And just like read them on stream. Yeah, I guess that isn't fair use. It's kinda sucky that you can't actually read that many books on Twitch legally.